In the heart of an ancient empire, a humble story began to unfold. A young orphan girl named Hadassah held on to hope amidst her sorrow. Her cousin Mordecai became her shield in a world of growing shadows. The vast Persian Empire stretched its reach across the known world. Humble paths would soon lead to the corridors of absolute power. Every step forward was a transition from the dust to the palace, the distance to the throne felt like an impossible mountain to climb. King Ahasuerus ruled with a hand that could shake the foundations. But defiance within the royal walls sparked a search for a new queen. A sudden void in the palace left the king in a state of restless fury. Young women were gathered from every corner to find a successor. Esther was adorned in gold, yet her heart remained simple and true. From the gates, Mordecai watched over her with silent, prayerful eyes. When Esther appeared before the king, she found favor in his sight. A crown of gold was placed upon Esther's head. The orphan girl had become queen. The new queen sat in splendor, unaware of the trials yet to come. A shadow named Haman began to rise, fueled by pride and ambition. His influence spread through the palace like a predator in the dark. Only one man refused to bow, standing tall against the rising tide. That refusal ignited a hatred that threatened an entire people. A decree of destruction was sealed in blood-red wax and cold malice. Mordecai wept in the streets, cloaked in the rags of deep mourning. Inside the palace, Esther looked out at a city destined for ruin. A message arrived that would change the course of history forever. The weight of her people's survival now rested on her shoulders. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? She looked into her own soul and found the courage to risk it all. United in prayer, her people waited for a miracle in the darkness. She prepared herself for a walk that could lead to life or death. The silence of the inner court echoed with her every brave step. Death was the law for any who entered the king's presence uninvited. She locked eyes with the king, her life hanging by a single thread. The empire held its breath as the king reached for his scepter. Mercy was extended, and the path to salvation was finally opened. At the banquet, Haman felt secure in his web of lies and power. Esther watched and waited, her silence masking a brilliant plan. Haman built a gallows, blind to the fate that was turning against him. That night, the king could not sleep. The records were read, revealing a hero who had been forgotten. The king realized a great debt of honor was still left unpaid. Haman was forced to honor the very man he had plotted to destroy. Mordecai was lifted from the dust and paraded through the city. The truth was finally spoken, unmasking the villain in the light. The king's wrath burned hot against the man who had betrayed him. Justice was swift, and the shadow of Haman was removed forever. The ring of power was given to the one who had remained faithful. A new decree was written, turning a day of mourning into victory. Hope spread like wildfire through the streets of the great city. A new dawn broke over Susa, bathing the empire in golden light. The people celebrated a deliverance that would never be forgotten.